Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to the temple for Shabbat morning services. We're so glad you were able to join us, those few of you who were able to join us in person, and those many who have joined us on the live stream via YouTube and Facebook Live. If you'd like to follow along in the service, you won't need a prayer book to do that this morning. Hopefully when you came in or as you found us on YouTube, you'll find a creative service that Amy and Ezra put together. On YouTube, you can find a link to a digital flip book, which is in the description of our YouTube channel. We welcome you all here. May you join us in this moment of Sabbath, this moment of peace, this celebration of a young man becoming a leader in our community. Our opening song is Hine Ma Tov. It's on page 2, How Wonderful and Good when we can come together connected to one another.
גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת עמים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לי, לה 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 לה, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לי, לה 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 לה, הנה מה טוב ומנעים, לה 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 לה, הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת עמים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת עמים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת עמים גם יחד.
May the door of the synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express and hopes to nurture. May the door of the synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May the synagogue be for all who enter the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into the quiet world of this day. On this day, Shabbat abide. I'd like to invite Amy, Ezra's mom, and his grandmother to come forward for a special presentation.
Adonai said to Moses, "Speak to the Israelite people and instruct them to make for themselves fringes on the corners of their garments throughout the ages. Let them attach a cord of blue to the fringe at each corner."
Ezra, today you will be able to wrap yourself in the talit for the first time. As you put on your talit, hear the voices of the generations who came before you. Feel the call of your ancestors as you begin your journey. Their wisdom, faith, and courage and devotion are links in the chain of tradition of which you are now a part. May your words and your deeds carry you into the future, which is creative and alive.
We watch as you accept your place in society and hope that the simplest of garments will always bring you comfort, joy, and inspiration. As you are embraced in the folds of this talit, we too are you wrapped. So too are you wrapped in the loving embrace of your family and community.
Hold on, let him see it.
Wow. Thank you.
Your creation.
Come over.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahitatef b'tzitzit. Praised are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, whose mitzvot add holiness to our lives, and who gave us the mitzvot to wrap ourselves in fringes. Recalling the generations, I wrap myself in the talit. May my mind be clear, my spirit open, as I surround myself in prayer.
We all say.
You're allowed to hug your mom and your grandma. That was Ezra's first mitzvah as a bar mitzvah. This is official. He's real.
Are we doing this together?
Please join us in the Shechianu, which is at the bottom of page 3, our prayer for special moments like these.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו והקימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו והקימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kichanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to engage with words of Torah. Adonai our God, make the words of your Torah sweet to us and to the house of Israel, your people, that we and our children may be lovers of your name and students of your Torah. We praise you, O God, teacher of the Torah to our people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai hamlamed Torah la'amo Yisrael. Elu devarim she'en lahem shi'ur. These are things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the world, while the principle remains in the world to come. They are honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study, morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, being devoted in prayer, and making peace among people. But the study of Torah encompasses them all. Please rise. Baruch hu et Adonai Hamvarach. Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Praised are you, Adonai, source of blessing. Praised are you, source of blessing throughout all time. Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer or uvrei hoshech osei shalom uvrei hakol hameir la'aretz v'ladarim alecha brachamim uvtuvo mechadesh b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reshit ma'arabu ma'asecha Adonai kulam b'chokma asita ma'al ha'aret kinyanecha tidbarach Adonai Eloheinu al sheva ma'aseh yadecha v'al me'urei or she'asita yifa'arucha sela or chadash al tzion ta'ir v'nizkech ulanu mehera le'oro Baruch atah Adonai Yotzer HaMeirot. The world is sunlight, restoring the soul, rejoicing the heart, bringing light to the eyes. More welcome than gold, a Torah from heaven. I have no light to give the morning, My Torah, my special human gift, is words. As I bring my words forth from silence, welcome them, you who redeems the sun from darkness. Baruch atah Adonai Yotzer HaMeorot. Blessed are you, Adonai, creator of heavenly lights. O God, inspiration and guide for all, you have spoken in 1,000 tongues for us to hear. In every land and every age, your children have imagined you in separate ways, have heard you and imagined you in separate ways. And yet, O God, you are one, unifier of humanity. We give thanks for sages and teachers who bring us understanding of your will. Gratefully, we recall the lawgivers and prophets, the psalmists and sages of Israel. And joyfully, we remember that from the dawn of Israel's life, we would turn to you and find purpose. May the teachings of our ancestors live on in our minds, and their passion for righteousness stir our hearts. Help us to live so that our daily conduct reveals the beauty and wisdom of your truth. Baruch atah Adonai, habocher ba'amo Yisrael ba'hava. Blessed are you, Adonai, who has chosen your people Israel in love. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever.
Please be seated.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha. But that's the wrong one. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha. V'chol levavcha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol meodecha. V'hayu hadavrim ha'elech. Asher anochi mitzavcha chayom al vavecha. V'shinam tam levanecha v'dibarta bam. V'shivtecha v'vetecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shokbecha uv'kumecha. Ukshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letodafot beinenecha. Uchtav tam al mezuzot betecha uvisharecha. L'ma'an tizkaru va'asitim et kol mitzvotai v'hitim kedoshim Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Asher hotzedi etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lichiot lechem Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. And
Sing the song.
huh?
You read sing the song on page 8.
And you shall love...
No, we sang that.
Oh. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect. Sing the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished. A gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content. Her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanara, El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim v'Kunei Hakol v'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'Nehem Lama'an Shemo Ba'ahava, Melech Ozer Umashia Umagen, Baruch atah Adonai Magen Abraham v'Ezrat Sarah. Praised are you, Adonai our God, and God of our ancestors, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, God of Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah. Great, mighty, and awesome, exalted God, who bestows loving kindness, creator of all. You remember the righteous deeds of our ancestors, and will send a Redeemer to their children's children, because of your loving nature. You are the sovereign who helps and guards, saves and shields. Praised are you, Adonai, shield of Abraham and helper of Sarah. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Abraham v'Ezrat Sarah. Praised are you, Adonai, shield of Abraham and helper of Sarah. You are the open door that beckons me in. Peeking around the door frame, I begin to enter into your glory. You move me forward, O Eternal, to step beyond self-made boundaries. Lift my foot over the threshold that I might abide with you. In the house of the Eternal, I found my questions waiting to be posed. They filled me with wonder. Sit with me, Eternal Teacher, and encourage my seeking. As I fill my house with your mitzvot, so shall I be filled. Send me through your door, stretching up to honor your name, sharing out this wonder, enriching myself in the giving. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol. Blessed are you, Adonai, who gives life to all. To all generations we will make known your greatness, and to all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God.
We continue now with the singing of Yismechu. You can find the words on page 12. We have some readers from Ezra's family. If you would all please rise, we're at the bottom of page 12, and you can share these readings with Ezra.
We wish for you, we wish for all children.
We wish for you to be a person of character, strong but not tough, gentle but not weak.
We wish for you to be righteous but not self-righteous, honest but not unforgiving.
Whenever you journey, may your steps be firm. May you walk in just paths and not be afraid.
Whenever you speak, may your words be words of wisdom and friendship. May your hands build and your heart preserve what is good and beautiful in our world.
May the voice of the generations of your people move through you, and may the God of your ancestors be your God as well.
May you know that there is a people, a rich heritage to which you belong, and from that sacred place you are connected to all who dwell on earth.
May the stories of our people be upon your heart, and the grace of the Torah, rhythm, dance in your soul.
Thank you. We continue now with our prayer for peace on page 13. Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. B'tov be'enecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
Please take a moment now for silent prayer. Bottom of page 13, you'll find the words to the Mishaberach, the special prayer for hope and for healing, which we say on this day on behalf of all those members of our congregation, our community, and our world who are so in need of healing from this pandemic, from illnesses of the heart, the soul. May we find wholeness, holiness, and healing for us and all the world. Please join us in the words of Mishaberach.
Mishaberach avotenu mekor habracha. Of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
Turn now on page 14 to Seder Kriyat HaTorah, the service for the reading of the Torah, as we welcome Ezra back to the pulpit and we begin the cycle of reading together. Please rise.
Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai, v'ein kama'asecha, malechutecha malechut kol amim, u'memshaltecha bechol dor v'dor. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Adonai os le'mo yitein, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom. Mitzion tetzeh Torah, ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, u'devar Adonai meyushalayim.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Our God is one, Adonai is great, holy is God's name.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Lecha Adonai Hagidula v'Hagibura v'Hatiferet v'Hanetzach v'Hod. Ki cho b'shamayim u'va'aretz, ki cho b'shamayim u'va'aretz. Lecha Adonai hamalacha v'hamitnaseh lechol erosh.
Please be seated. There is at this time a special ceremony. Yeah, please be seated if you're not parents or grandparents, because I was just going to ask you to stand up again anyway. There's a special ceremony in normal times we conduct where we pass the Torah from generation to generation. And we've had to kind of let that one go for a while we keep our social distance. But Fout's family had a new way of doing that. So we asked his parents and his grandparents, Jackie and Steve, Alice and Stuart, Amy and Nathan, to stand and read as we pass this tradition from one generation to the next. May the one who blessed our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and our four mothers, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless the generations of this family. Shine your light upon grandson of Jackie and Steve Fouts, and Alice and Stuart Jandal, and son of Amy and Nathan, who stands here today, ready to receive this legacy of his Jewish heritage and make it his own. May he be strengthened by the bonds of this holy wisdom, being passed l'dor vador, from generation to generation. And now, if our family members would please give Nathan a blessing.
Be strong.
Chazak. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazak.
Be strong, be strong. Let us be strengthened. And together, all of us say, Amen. Please be seated. Ezra?
Our God and God of our ancestors, I stand before the sacred assembly proclaiming that I choose to be a part of the people of Israel, a part of its heritage and its fate, bound by its commandments. Give me strength to follow your path and to be a source of pride to my family, my community, and my people. How greatly we are blessed, how good is our portion, how pleasant our lot, and how beautiful our heritage. Blessed are we when we sanctify your name and declare, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one.
Ezra, it's time to read the Torah. If you'll take back the cover. And our first aliyah, please rise, Sarah Ann and Rachel. Can you get that microphone on? Ezra's reading from Numbers, chapter 2, verses 5 through 13. Please go ahead, girls.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach leolam vahed.
Baruch Adonai hamvarach leolam vahed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. And as Sarah, Ann, and Rachel stand, Ezra, read your first aliyah.
V'hakonim alav matei Yisachar v'nasi livnei Yisachar Nathanael ben Suar utzva'o uvkudav arba v'chamishim elef arba meot matei Zebulun v'nasi livnei Zebulun Aliyav ben Chelon utzva'o uvkudav shiva v'chamishim elef arba meot.
Sarah, Ann, and Rachel, blessing after.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Amy and Nathan. You don't have to bend down. It's okay. It says in the Talmud, actually, you should bend down to hear your wife's wisdom. So that was actually very wise thing to do.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach leolam vahed.
Baruch Adonai hamvarach leolam vaed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Ezra, as your parents stand before you, your second aliyah.
Kol hapkudim lamachane Yehuda ma'at elef ushmonim elef v'sheshet elofim v'arba mayot utzivotam rishona Yisau degel machane Reuven te'emana utzivotam v'nasi livnei Reuven Elitzur ben Shadeur.
Blessing afterwards.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Ezra, as you stand before us as a bar mitzvah, your turn to bless the Torah.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach leolam vahed.
Baruch Adonai hamvarach leolam vaed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Utzva'o uvkudav Shishav arba'im elef v'chamesh meot v'hachonim alav matei Shimon v'nasi livnei Shimon Shlumiel ben Surishadai utzva'o uvkudehem tisha v'chameshim elef u'shlosh meot.
Amen. The English translation now, Ezra.
Hold on. The tribe of Issachar will camp next to them. The leader of the people of Issachar is Nathaniel, son of Zuar. His divisions number 54,400. The tribe of Zebulun will be next. The leader of the people of Zebulun is Eliab, son of Helon. His divisions number 57,400. All the men assigned to the camp of Judah, according to their divisions, number 186,400. They will set out first. On the south will be the divisions of the camp of Reuben under their standard. The leader of the people of Reuben is Eliezer, son of Shadeur. His divisions number 46,500. The tribe of Simeon will camp next to them. The leader of the people of Simeon is Shlumiel, son of Zurishaddai. His divisions number 59,300. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata betochenu, Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
HaTorah asher sam Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai biyad Moshe al pi Adonai biyad Moshe vezot HaTorah asher sam Moshe livnei asher sam Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael.
Ezra will now be reading from the Haftarah. His Haftarah portion is from the prophet Hosea, chapter 2, verses 15 to 22. Ezra the blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher bachar bin ve'im tovim, v'ratzav v'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet, Baruch atah Adonai, habocher b'Torah u'Moshe avdo, u'Yisrael amo, u'inviei ha'emet v'tzedek. Ufakati aleha. Et yamei habolim asher taktir lahem vata'ad nizma v'chelyata v'telech acharei me'aheveha v'oti shachacha ne'um Adonai lachen hinei anochi mefatecha v'holachtiha hamidbar v'dibarti aliba v'natati la et krameha misham Vet emek achor levetach tikva va'anta shama kimei ne'ureha ukyom alota me'eretz Mitzrayim v'haya v'yom hahu ne'um Adonai tikri ishi v'lo tikri li od ba'ili v'hasiroti hihihi et shmot habolim mi piha v'lo yizakru od bishmam V'charati lahem berit bayom hahu im chayat hasadeh v'im of hashamayim v'remes ha'adama v'keshet v'cherev u'milchama eshbor min ha'aretz v'hishkavtim levetach v'erasti kli le'olam v'erasti kli b'tzedek u'v'mishpat v'chesed u'vrachamim Ve'erasti kli be'emunah vayadat et Adonai. Thus I will punish her for the days of Baalim, on which she brought them offerings. When decked with her earrings and jewels, she would go after her lovers, forgetting me, declares the Lord. Assuredly, I will speak coaxingly to her, and lead her through the wilderness, and speak to her tenderly. I will give her her vineyards from there, and the valley of Achor as a plowland of hope. There she shall respond as in the days of her youth, when she came up from the land of Egypt. And in that day, declares the Lord, you will call me Ishi, and no more will you call me Ba'ali. For I will remove the names of Ba'alim from her mouth, and they shall never more be mentioned by name. In that day I will make a covenant for them with the beasts of the field, the birds of the air, and the creeping things of the ground. I will also banish bow, sword, and war from the land. Thus I will let them lie down in safety. And I will espouse you forever. I will espouse you with righteousness and justice, and with goodness and mercy. And I will espouse you with faithfulness. Then you shall be devoted to the Lord.
Blessing afterwards.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, tzur kol haolamim, tzadik b'chol adarot, ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer ve'oseh, hamdaber im kayin, shekol divarav emet v'tzedek. Al ha-Torah, v'al ha-avodah, v'al hanvi'im, v'al yom ha-Shabbat hazeh, shenatat lanu Adonai Eloheinu, likdusha v'limnucha, lechavod ultifaret. Al hakol Adonai Eloheinu, anachnu modim lach, umvarchim otach, nit barach shimcha b'fi kol chai tamid leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat.
Amen. Mazel tov. You're a bar mitzvah now. Congratulations. You have a few words you might want to share with everybody about it in a speech or something?
Yes.
Oh, good.
What a coincidence. Now this part is in English, so you guys should start paying attention. My Torah portion is mainly about how many people there were in each of the Israelite tribes and the leader of each of the tribes. The purpose of the census was to know how many soldiers they had and the taxes they would pay. One of these leaders was a man named Nachshon ben Aminadav. There is a story about Nachshon. He was the first person to step into the waters of the Red Sea before the waters parted. The people of Israel were trapped between Pharaoh's army and the Red Sea. Someone had to do something, and Nachshon didn't want to be a slave again, so he took the first step into water toward freedom. The people followed him, and then God and Moses split the Red Sea. The point of that story is that sometimes we need to take the first step. We need to do something on our own in order for us to be free. God can't guide us every step of the way. Becoming a bar mitzvah has meant a lot to me. It means that I'm embracing Jewish culture, and I am super glad it finally happened. Even though it is so late, I'm still very glad that everybody is here, and joining the line on my mom's side of the family, all who have become bar and bat mitzvah, is something that I've been working towards for a long time. Thank you to everybody who's watching. I wanted you all to be able to come physically and have bagels afterwards, but the coronavirus had other plans. This was originally supposed to be on May 23rd, 2 days after my birthday, and then it got changed to October 10th, and now it's pushed back even farther until today. I am really glad still that we were able to celebrate it together, though. I couldn't have been here today without the help from these people and more. Mom and Dad, thank you for being the most supportive parents ever. I couldn't ask for a better set of parents, and I love beating you in Monopoly. Mom, you understand what I'm doing, sometimes. It's like in Hebrew and with English when it comes to writing and grammar. It's funny and sometimes scary whenever I tell you about a new idea for an experiment that could be dangerous. I like listening to you and Gin Rummy and helping you cook, not so much cleaning up. You're the best, Mom. Dad, even though you don't know what I'm doing, whenever I'm reading something in Hebrew, you follow along as best as you can. I like planning out my experiments with you and asking you about math, as well as talking together about the newest video game that came out, or what you played last night. It's fun blowing up things and being out on the farm hoeing strawberries with you. You're the best, Dad. Aaron, you're my favorite brother because you're my only one. I like spending time with you and talking about the video games we've been playing, as well as reading Harry Potter together. It's fun to play outside and be competitive about everything. Really, you're the best. Mama and Pappy, it's always great to come down to the farm to help her play with you. It's great to spend the afternoon with you, Marmar, and it's fun working on the farm with you, Pappy, although sometimes it's hard. I've learned a lot about chemistry from you, Pappy, and a lot about teeth from you, Marmar. You're the best grandparents. On level with Bubby and Papa Stu. Bubby and Papa Stu. It's great to come down to Florida and spend time with you guys, even though we might end up spending more time looking for lizards. It's nice to relax in your house and build jigsaw puzzles or swim in your pool. Bubby, it's the best cooking with you and eating the food afterwards. And Papa Stu, I like listening to your corny jokes, and I think I get most of my humor from you. You are the best grandparents, on level with Marmar and Pappy. Thank you to all my aunts, uncles, and cousins. There are so many of you I can't write individual thank yous, or it'd be 2 hours, but I still love you all, including all of you who are watching from home. Thank you to all my friends from Temple and from school for being my friends. To my friends at Temple, you have helped me and made learning Hebrew more enjoyable. To my friends at school, you haven't really helped me with my Judaic education, but you have been great people and nice friends. I have to say thank you to Eli, so thank you. Thank you to all the rabbis and helpers at the temple, because otherwise I wouldn't be standing here today. And finally, thank you to all the people watching on the live stream. I wish you could be here.
You're allowed to take a sigh of relief, clap, say mazel tov.
You broke the clip. Not really broke, but it doesn't matter.
Okay. Is he gonna go over here?
Yeah. You gonna go that way? Who's going which way? All right, so obviously I had to touch you, but we cannot go a minute further without saying congratulations. You did such an amazing job, and we're so proud of you. And we'll get back to your amazingness, but first, we also must thank those in attendance today, here and virtually. Of course, Ezra did want this sanctuary filled with smiling faces of family and friends. And with the amazing help of the temple staff, we have some pictures in the front, and they've helped us do that. So thank you, Benji and Avery, for making this happen.
A surprise blessing of COVID is the live stream that has enabled more people to witness Ezra's accomplishment. And for that, we are thankful. There are many other things you could be doing with your time, but you chose to be here. Your support means the world to us.
We'd also like to give a special thanks to our friends Veronica Combs and Barbara Hayes for helping us make a connection to Ezra and his talit by making these amazing masks. And to the rabbis and to all of Ezra's religious school teachers, his success today is a reflection of your guidance and teachings over the past 8 years. Ezra, when you were 3, you rescued beautiful daylilies that were being trashed, and you walked around the mall and you handed out all those flowers to strangers. And although they were, I want to take this off.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry. There we go. Although they were very confused at first, they walked away with a flower and a smile. And we still see that giving spirit in you still today. Stay kind and thoughtful.
When you have an idea in your head, there is little to make you waver. You turn interest into expertise. You've mastered catching lizards, solving Rubik's Cubes, picking locks. You've even managed to make some money on things like selling wooden wine bottle holders, sharpening knives, and now you're starting to trade in the stock market. It's crazy. Stay true to you. You are a hard worker. You value your time and your teacher's time, and you want to learn. For a whole year, you've had weekly calls with the rabbi. I think the only times you missed were when you were helping your grandparents up on the farm. Continue to work hard and do your best.
Your quirky sense of humor takes time to be revealed, but when it does, look out. Like when you insisted on having a toilet on your birthday cake. And although we did not see each other's speeches, I also said, I cherish our Rummy Q games, or our Gin Rummy games, and I enjoy cooking with you, because it truly is when your silly side shows, and you are one heck of a bluffer. Stay funny and weird.
Thank you.
You were agreeable as I introduced you to old school 2D video games before letting you play those newfangled 3D ones. I'm always happy to talk science with you, and I enjoy listening to you play the piano. And I'm happy when you help me on various projects around the house, such as re-shingling the roof, cooking pancakes, or the dreaded raking the leaves. Stay creative and helpful.
Your maturity is such a strong personal attribute, but I don't frequently compliment you on it because I still want you to be a playful little boy. I think too easily you could take on the pressures of the world, and there's time to do all that later. So remember to be in the moment and don't grow up too fast.
Ezra, you've never met a dog you didn't ask to pet. You never met a cat you didn't want to snuggle. And you never saw a wild creature you didn't want to catch. And we're not just talking about fireflies. We're talking about slugs and turtles, snakes, fish, frogs, crabs, just to name a few. Except not spiders. Stay loving.
You are so inquisitive, and your mind works so fast. So fast that your follow-up questions are uttered before we finish answering the first question. Life with you feels like a tennis match, with questions and answers being quickly volleyed back and forth. Please stay curious.
We know that you do not like being in the spotlight, but we all see you today. Kind and thoughtful, true and creative, loving and helpful, funny, delightfully weird, and curious.
You chose the words "be strong" to be on your talit. For you, it was not just about bodily strength, but also your mind, your conviction, and your beliefs. And I think today you've shown us all that you will be successful in all you do, and that you are strong. We love you.
Thank you. Love you too.
Congratulations.
I think we talked your snap again.
There you go.
Yep.
Good job. Okay.
Ezra has been trained for his bar mitzvah completely by long-distance learning. It's kind of odd, actually, seeing you standing looking down at me, as opposed to shining your face through our FaceTime meetings. And unfortunately, this will be a long-distance charge, too. But by comparison from Louisville to Indiana, we're actually pretty close right now. You read from the book of Numbers this morning, which is not the usual portion for this time of year, but you've carried that portion with you through many travails to reach this day, and now on your bar mitzvah day, you were reading from Numbers. I think that's kind of appropriate, actually, not just because you've carried the Torah from not just generation to generation, but from months to months to months to reach this, but because you're such a numbers guy. It just was always the perfect portion for you. From the time we first started studying your Torah portion, and you were obsessed at that time, as I recall, with how much money you were going to get for your bar mitzvah that could be dedicated towards buying parts to build your computer, which I'm hoping is like along its way, to those lazy days of summer when you were working on thermite experiments and with your grandfather on the farm sending me videos of things going boom, to your current obsession with the stock market and riding its rises, hopefully not its falls, as you move along. But it's also the perfect portion for you, Numbers, because it's not just called Numbers. The portion you chose to read is actually the numbering of the people. And who could stand up and be numbered as an adult in the community. And isn't that the perfect bar mitzvah portion? I mean, truly. Because you stand here today, standing up as an adult for a leader in the Jewish community. This is, in many ways, your Nachshon moment. Like the hero you talked about, Nachshon ben Aminadav, who was the first to set foot into the water. It takes an action, not just a thought, not just a study, not just a consideration. It takes a first step to become a leader in any organization, in any place in the world, but here in the Jewish community too. Today you took a giant step forward in that regard. You are standing here this day, being counted among the community of Israel, and telling us that we can count on you. It is, I think, particularly significant that of all the layers of things that we just kept adding, because, we have time now. Bar mitzvah's, now another 3 months off, or however far, from chanting Torah and then chanting Haftarah and chanting the prayers and preparing just layer upon layer, working with your mom on the development of this beautiful service, that you would choose to read the numbers from the book of Numbers, from that scroll, the Holocaust scroll that we normally keep in our archives, because there is such a need for people to stand up and be counted in an age when so many people were counted out. That's very you. Particularly because, of course, that part of that Torah happens to have a good bit of smoke damage from its travails, arriving here from the days of the Holocaust. So it just had to be a little bit harder to read. And then, of course, because you weren't coming in to study, you didn't get a chance to actually look at that scroll in advance, so we sent like a digital picture of it, which, of course, Ezra took when he was here for 7th and 8th grade services without the last line, which he had to memorize by heart. But you have a good heart, not just a good memory. And I know that those words will reside within you always. So the lesson, I guess, of your bar mitzvah is that the world is led and run by those who show up, by those who stand up to be counted. And I know that in every generation, we seek those who will stand up and be counted and be leaders in our community and for our world. And that you, Ezra, whose name means help, will always be one, as you always have been, who's willing to step forward, to stand up, and be a leader, which is what it means to be a bar mitzvah, and what it means to be a mensch, which is something I think you were born to be, but you've really, really become a good soul for all of us to share. Please accept this blessing. Yevorechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May the Lord bless you and keep you from harm. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yikunecha. May God's face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's face be lifted unto you and grant you always the blessing of peace. Amen. We continue now in our service on page 20 with the Elena. Please rise. Let us adore the ever-living God and render praise unto you, who spreads out the heavens and established the earth, whose glory is revealed in the heavens above, and whose greatness is manifest throughout the world. You are our God, there is none else. Please be seated. Ezra, you can have a seat too. We continue at the bottom of page 20. Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel, who marched for civil rights alongside Martin Luther King Jr., wrote that morally speaking, there's no limit to the concern one must feel for the suffering of human beings. Indifference to evil is worse than evil itself. That in a free society, some are guilty, but all are responsible. May we continue to practice tikkun olam, repairing the world. May we continue to practice gimilut chasadim, acts of loving kindness. May we continue to practice tzedakah, just giving. May we recognize that all beings are created equal, b'tselem Elohim, in the image of God. May we walk away today knowing that each of us has the power to change the world.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. It has been said Adonai will be sovereign over all the earth. On that day Adonai will be one, and God's name will be one, and God's name will be one.
Page 21. We believe in tomorrow. We believe as Jews dedicated to service to our temple and to our faith that we have the power to make tomorrow different than today. We believe that ignorance and poverty and lack of sensitivity to the feelings, needs, or beliefs of others need not be permanent. We believe in people despite all we know about them. We believe that there can be yet a time of peace, a time of sisterhood and brotherhood, a time of tranquility for ourselves, for our children, and for everyone who lives on earth. We believe that we can have a share in the bringing of this day closer by the way in which we live throughout the year. The world may smile at our dreams, but no matter, we still believe. We remember with love those family members who are no longer with us to share in our celebrations like this one. May Jandel and Max Jandel, Ann Hirsch and Bob Hirsch, Irma Fouts, Bill Fouts, Ella Davis, and Jack Davis. And this week in our congregation, we remember particularly the names of Lonnie Nafuzi and Marianne Morgulin, Louis Prezant, Brendan Jade, Irving Herlins, Esther Pincus, Jonathan Albert Marenblum, Philip E. Bordy, Rose Frager Dwight Jenton, Selma Liebman, Edward Aaron Rothschild, Selma Herlins Levin, Margaret Frank, Joseph Rosenberg, Sarah Lee, Norma Rose, Martha Rosal Yaffe, Faye Michelson, Maynard Castor, Clava Feingold, Betty Jane Fleischaker, Joshua Lerman, Alvin B. Rosenblum, Robert Skyer, Anna Stum Loving, Phyllis Sternberg, Della Glick, Hannah Sandler, Leon Younger, Elaine Koppel-Sag, Philip Morrison, Melvin Bellman, Joseph E. Feynman, Miriam Ruth Fine, Bess Cohen, Lucille Natalie, Jenny Sweet, Clarence Bragg Benjamin, Pauline Ruth Golden, Rosalind Dickman, Peter Spivak, John Danello, Esther Linares, Alejandro Gonzalez, and in recent days, Ida Spivak, Sonia Hess, and Carolyn Bailison. Zichronam livracha. May their memories live on in us and in all we do as we rise on page 22 for the Kaddish. Yid Kadal v'yid Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Balmad divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachonu v'yomechonu chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, Bagala uvizman kari v'imru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam olmei olmaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yithalal, Shmei dekudisha b'richu, Leilo min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, Da'amiran bi'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehei Shlom Rabbah min Shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh Shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say together, Amen. Our closing song, a prayer for peace, is Od Yavod Shalom Aleinu. Peace will come upon us and upon everyone. Shalom, salam. Please join us.
Od Yavod Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavod Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavod Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavod Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavod Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavod Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Od Yavod Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavod Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavod Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavod Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavod Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavod Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Od Yavod Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavod Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavod Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam.
Shalom, salam, peace. The ultimate blessing, really, that we might find peace. The ultimate challenge, really, that we might help make peace in our lives, in our communities, in our nation, and in our world. Peace will come, but we will have to be the bringers of peace. On this Shabbat Shalom, this Sabbath of peace, these moments of peace, these moments of sharing with the family as we see a leader step forward. They remind us of our own ability to change the world with simple acts, simple moments, special moments like these. We ask God's blessing on all those here, on all we love, and all we share. Bruchim atem b'voachem, uvruchim atem b'tzeitechem, me'ata v'ad olam, hallelujah. Blessed are you who have come here this day. Blessed are you as you go upon your way. From this time forth and forevermore, may we bless the name of the Lord. Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.